Guys, I'm just waiting for. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so I'm just waiting for this to start here. I don't think anybody's watching this, but you guys can watch this later. I'm gonna go ahead here and I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean with the YouTube stream here. If I go up to live settings, hang on for a second. No, it's not working. Dang, it's not working now. Hang on. What happened? Forward. Okay, so it's working now. I'm wondering if I could just. Oh, see now there's the chat. It works. Now it works. That's weird. I can't get it to work when I have to start the video for some reason with the live dashboard, and then I can only go back. Otherwise, I won't be able to see it. I don't know why. I think I can do. Well, anyways, this will get saved later. Um, so now this works. That's good. So I know how to get it to work. Before, if I pop, can I pop this out? How about chat? I can pop it out, but it's still, okay, this is still, yeah, this Photoshop's still going to block this, so I don't think it's going to do anything. Yeah, that's not going to, I can pop out the chat, but it's not going to do anything. Because if I just minimize my OBS, it's not going to, I don't think I'm just going to restore it because it's not going to do me any good. Anyway, let's paint a military vehicle with some guns. I figure I don't have to do this live, but it's kind of cool. Anybody's watching this? It's probably nobody's gonna be watching it, but that's okay. Um, so I have this, I have Humvee, some Humvee images here, and I want to do a military vehicle. Do a military vehicle here. So first thing I want to do is with military vehicles, it's actually pretty basic. So we're looking at just perspective. We're talking just a box. Not too many changes here. So I want to make sure my pen's in the right. Everything's set correctly. All right. So I want to do. So I'm thinking like a Jeep, right? And the cool thing is, with cars, you can kind of with vehicles and cars and stuff like that, you can actually get reference. So you can just reference things that are existing. I'm just throwing in boxes for perspective because we're doing a vehicle, and vehicles you kind of have to know what it looks like. Again, this might change. This is kind of one of those where it's never going to be exact. This might change a little bit. I'm just kind of throwing stuff together right now. And I need some off-road tires, so it's going to be a wheel well with some off-road tires. And with vehicles, I definitely want one wheel that's out, that's kind of not in perspective, just basically turn the other way. So we want direction, some kind of direction here. As you can see, this might not, we want it a little bit bigger. Almost got a camper on the top. I can just where the gun and ammo, is. Hopefully this doesn't turn out to look like a Pontiac Aztec or something. It's probably like the ugliest fucking car ever. Perspective-wise, this is not right. The bad thing about like drawing vehicles is that the fact that the vehicle, it kind of has to make sense. It's got to look like a car, because we all know what cars look like. It's kind of the issue, like with people, it's like you kind of know what people look like. I'll probably have to look at some off-road bumpers. This bumper is not working. And you think that I would probably need my own off-road bumper. I'd probably have to make one. It's like to make up something. I think I want to put some music on, but it's like distracting, so I don't want to do that. With these kind of bumpers, you're actually looking at the it's like random knowledge again, but it's like you're like, okay, I need, for these kinds of bumpers, I need to increase my approach and departure angles. And this is why these bumpers have these angles on them. I'll kind of show an example later. Maybe this needs to go wider a little bit here. I need this to go wider just a bit because it's a little bit too close. I'm thinking my steering, probably my live axle is probably not going to be here. I'll probably have a live axle right here. So this would probably be about there. So I'm thinking, in perspective, that's probably somewhat accurate. I'm not even going to measure it. It's too much work. And then I have like a steering nut. We have like a tie rod going in here. But I'll have to look at that later. These are usually lifted, so you can kind of see the axle. Oh, it's got 4 doors, so I have to adjust this for a 4-door kind of thing. Keep in mind, if this doesn't, it's not going to actually look all that great, because it's probably going to be a military style vehicle. So it's kind of looking like a Jeep. Maybe I'll turn it into a Jeep. Anyway, no, this is. I can probably add a snorkel. It'd be kind of cool. I'll just add the snorkel right here. Be like, oh, I can add a snorkel. Probably come right here, and I'll have that snorkel thing. If I put it on the other side, I wouldn't have to draw it. Like I said before, this coronavirus thing is totally cramping my style. Like you wouldn't believe. Let's see. Doesn't mean I can't really work while talking about like other things, like a little off. So I got that Land Rover thing going. Why does it feel like Land Rover? So it can be one of those ads like, buy your military vehicle. Only $300,000. So the last one, I looked up that turbine engine. It's like that turbine engine was at 300,000. What was $400,000 for a turbine engine? That's ridiculous. It's like, who's going to buy an Apache helicopter turbine engine? So we're cool. We got to have turn signals on the mirrors. I don't know what this is going to be, this grill. I mean, that's like, you know, iconic. It's what's going to be iconic about the car. It's going to make, that's what's going to make what this car is going to be about. Like the kind of make, model. These lights, it's like, it's like I drew these with a ruler. Why do they look like this? Maybe I'll put a basket on here. I'll put a basket on here or something. Yeah, this has got to have way more ground clearance. It's because this thing is way too. It's like it does look like a Land Rover. That's the problem. It's like it just doesn't have the ground clearance. It's like it can't go off road. There's no way. It's not possible. You need to lift it at least a little bit. Phone's like making noise again. This time I'm gonna bring this down because we're doing it lower. So now we have a 8-inch lift. Tie rod for steering. Back to the knuckle. right, so we kind of got the height there. It's about this high. Getting onto it's going to be a pain in the ass. Getting into it anyway, because you're like, why is this thing so big? I'm trying to get the right angle here, because the fenders, they always swoop forward a little bit. I'm going to look back at some reference here. I'm watching this right now. Oh, it's only 2. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna have to adjust the fenders a little bit. So we have really big tires. Our ground clearance is probably just higher because of some portal axles, right? It's front independent suspension. So we got front independent suspension. So we're gonna make some clearance here. We're gonna have that kind of that cutaway for the high entry and then exit angles and no bumper. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to just get that style lights, or I can just put extra lights. I'm going to put extra lights on there. Extra lights. You know, you always want extra lights on your truck. So mine has a winch. Obviously, these do not. I think that's a winch. I think that's a winch. But these have very high. These don't even have bumpers. So they actually, from here, they actually just kind of come down. They kind of just make that shape. They don't even have bumpers. But I like my bumpers, so I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to change it. I like my bumpers. Does it? So for maybe if we're camping, like maybe this is a camping vehicle, but it's got some guns. So we so this is our fold out awning. Ooh, that's not good. It's our fold out awning. We got a fold out awning here, and then on top we have our deflector. So usually what is like this is like a basket. So we have our half military vehicle, half camping vehicle, basket of some sort. This is our rack. I'll figure that out later. It's not really important right now. Oh, we can't have front. So if this is live axle, we can't have independent front suspension because that wouldn't work. This is IFS, so that wouldn't make any sense. So anyway, we're gonna put some rocks here. some kind of background. This is, you know, it's a background painting, so I gotta have some kind of background. Cutting through there. These lights are probably not working. They're just not working. Let me see. Maybe we could extend the fender. So what we could do is extend this fender. We're just gonna have fender flares. So just like fender flares, extra fender flares going like this. So the back would also have some fender flares. And then from there, we just have our bumper. So we can have our bumper here. And that's going to be a fender flare. If you're a Jeep, well, if I'm a normal vehicle, I could, it's like, where am I going to put my third wheel? Because, you know, obviously I need my spare. It's probably going to be on the side. It's my spare right here. Spare tire. That avoids the tangent. So make sure it's a spare tire. Probably have to change that after a while. It's or later I'm gonna change that because that's not really working right now. It's just kind of a placeholder. It's like a lot of this stuff. Let's answer some emails. I've not gotten back to her, so I will have to do that. You know what? After this, I'll go and I will go and adjust that I'll do Racina stuff. I just haven't gotten to it, so and I probably will. Actually, I will. It's just I have to. Let me just get through this and then. Since we're doing like kind of military stuff type things, we could probably just she's doing Halo, so it'd be kind of cool. Kind of just follow up on that. We need a light bar, or I don't see. This is snorkel, so probably just put a light bar here. We'll put a light bar. So I'm gonna fix this fender here. Turn signal lights on the bumper, on the fenders here. One keeps on making noise. Joe Exotic in Corona isolation in jail. Huh, interesting. Anyway. I'm gonna bring this down. I'm gonna put a, I'm gonna put a, I'm gonna put a machine gun here, just for the hell of it, like, you know. We have an awning, and then we got a machine gun. I'm gonna grab some reference for this. It's like what they call a minigun. It's got like, it's got a 6-shooter, which is totally not aligned right now. As you can see. Or a chain gun. It's got one gun at it anyway. Let me go look that up. Is that a chain gun? No, that's a cannon. That's a straight up cannon, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna look up minigun. Making a tab here. I'm just gonna look up minigun. So it's got a like a minigun. It's got 8 kind of 6-shooter here. So this is how it's gonna look. We have our chain, and then we have our mount. Okay, got it. So we obviously have. It's not this big. Then we want maybe we can have our belt drive going in here like this. Just gonna feed it like that. This is just an awning, so I gotta figure out where maybe somehow this is actually being fed through this window. Be kind of cool. Here we have our awning. Just a runny nose, not the coronavirus. Am I doing this right? Yeah, I got it right. Don't zoom in too much, or accidentally zoom in. Hood vents. That's looking all right. I think it's starting to look all right. I'm actually gonna I'm gonna put the snorkel on the other side because it'd be cool to put the snorkel on the other side. I wonder if anybody used the chat. Nobody's watching this, but this is for a save for later kind of thing. So I said hi. Let's save this for later here. Let me go back to Photoshop. Okay, so I'm gonna put my snorkel on this side. This is less for me to draw on this side. It's like kind of like, oh, I'll put my snorkel on this side. Okay, less for me to draw. So now the snorkel's on this side. It's going to come in from this A-pillar into this mirror, so we're probably not going to see too much of it. Perfect vehicle for your desert rave. I wonder if you can hear the pen scratching. Like, what else? What can you guys hear? So interesting. I have my winch, so my winch is going to be, well, if I tied it correctly, it'd probably just be like, the hook would just be like right here, like that. So I won't actually have a winch that's going to be hanging like that. I do encourage you guys to use the chat. I'm wondering if you guys, nope, nobody uses chat. Fender. I feel like my fender flare should be a little bit wider. Flare should be a little bit wider. That way the body line match up here. Makes it easy because we're just doing like just a bunch of boxes. It's not like we're doing a Ferrari or something. So we got 2 doors. That's all we want. We don't want 5 or something like. We don't want more than that. We just need as many doors as we really need to get into the car. We need 4 doors. So we're starting to fix the body line here. All this other stuff that's just looking kind of strange. So just fixing the position of the seats here. We have these generic headrests. These mirrors are really big, and now they're in the wrong spot, like way up here. Like just they're not in the right spot. It's like they look ridiculous over there. I wonder how they look on the Hummer. I got to go back and check it and see how they actually look on the Hummer. Then I would know where to go from there. So now fender's looking kind of a little better there. Fenders are looking good. Floorboards or rock sliders. I'm probably just gonna make them rock sliders. I'm gonna look back at the Humvee here and see. So their mirrors are like that. I wonder if they're both like that on both sides. Those things really aggressive. Maybe I should make the doors look like that. That'd be pretty cool. And then this is like a deflector. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Let's add it on. Some bull bars. Like those doors are aggressive. You're not that's keeping the baddies out. I guess I can add any mirrors right after I do this. Like, oh, I'm gonna put these crazy doors on there. A little bit thick for the top glass there. Too much. So these actually open up backwards. That's pretty nuts. They open up backwards. They have hinges on the back. These windows still look a little strange. I can't live with that. I'll redesign this. I'm probably just gonna leave this as this kind of shape here. This one doesn't have mirrors, but I'm just going to use those mirrors. Probably do the same exact mirrors. I just go like forward, and then put them right here. It's like those. It's like the mirrors the city has on their city vehicles. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this window. It's just looking all weird. if I did that, I would have to follow that body line just to make it look a little more interesting, just like to make it look right even. It would be all the way down here, but that would make this thing completely unsafe. This would be so unsafe. Handle. Not that we really need a handle, but kind of nice to have, you know, just in case you need to pull this thing out and take it somewhere with you. I want some aggressive all-terrain tires, obviously. So I want some mud terrain. I want some mud terrain tires. Yeah, some BF Goodrich Geolanders. These look pretty aggressive. It's gonna follow that tread pattern. Usually what we have with these like mud terrains, we have like a very small rim. So this would probably be a really small rim. Probably nothing like this. Like this, that's like a sport wheel. So we got like a much smaller rim. We have these like kind of knobbies to the edge. I don't know how the lights are going to work. Stacy's mom singer dies. Huh. I wonder how many of you guys remember that song? Stacy's mom's got it going. Something like that. Man, that was a long time ago. So our tread pattern is going to be like this. Just kind of indicating our tread pattern here. Rock sliders. I'm gonna look up some rock slider pictures so we can get an accurate idea of where the rock sliders will go. Obviously, the tires have some kind of thickness here, so that's these lines are for. think this is a little bigger here, so I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to so in perspective would actually this would make make a little bit of sense. Okay, that makes a little more sense. I'm gonna start with this fender. It is the closest thing, and I'm gonna work outwards. So I'm gonna start with the fender, start cleaning up the drawing, going outwards towards these two left and right sides of the page here. Part's like the boring part. I'm just like cleaning up, making sure everything's in perspective, putting some rivets. It's just not that exciting. I feel like everybody has coronavirus right now. That's the Stacey's mom standardizing has coronavirus. It's like everybody has it. So who doesn't have it? Okay, so we're cleaning it up a little bit. We're getting lines there. So you can see that fender. It's kind of taking shape. So obviously now that we see this bumper could not actually do this. It will not end up here, right? So it would most likely start here, like in any Humvee, it would actually come down. So I'm gonna have to draw that line, have to redraw it. So we're gonna see this fender. I'm gonna push the fender behind above the rock slider, because if I don't do that, then it would be broken by the rocks, right? That it hits above the rock slider. So we get a little bit more extreme here. So you can see the one thing that's not working is actually this. Like this is not um, in perspective with this. It would actually be like this here, because we're actually our rock sliders our fenders here in the rear. They need to be in perspective with the front. With the front fender. So because of that, what we want to do is want to get all that stuff into perspective. So this obviously it could work, but my fender here is going to be kind of it's going to be a normal roll. Normal roll. It's not normal. Um, just so that matches a little bit. Because our vehicle is, we are on a slant here, so we are angled a little bit. We see the thickness. We want to have this one do the exact same thing. We want some kind of thickness here. I just don't like how this is working out. This is working. It's kind of weird right here. Let's do this. All right, there. I think that looks a little more accurate, right? So we are on a slope, at least a little bit, and the angle of the wheel is pretty much correct. Maybe it's a little off still, but we'll figure that out later. I'm gonna put some rock sliders. I'll look at some rock sliders. So we can use these. They look pretty cool. So we can design our own rock sliders. Kind of based on these, we have gussets. Those are called gussets. So instead of having this angled down, I'm going to angle this up. This is, I'm going to have to eliminate this here. This is not working. Redo this door a little bit so we can have those rock sliders kind of fit in. This isn't very clean right here, this line. I'm going to raise this door a little bit. That door handle there. So this is probably going to overlap this, so we probably might not even see some of the door. But see, that's the cool part about this. We'd just be like, oh, rock sliders. We don't have to really worry about anything, you know, other things get in the way. We just kind of go, they're just rock sliders. Because I want them to come up here like this. But because we don't want them blocking the door, they have to be below the door. So you might not see the diff here because rock sliders are going to be right here. Plate armor. Kind of just place that right there. OJ talks Tiger King. Interesting. Lisa just sent me a friend request. You can see that. So this really just won't be there. There will be, I will see all the suspension work here. That's the cool part. We put more suspension work in this area because there's really nothing to hide that. Because I mean, I could put a stuff there, but it's going to be all suspension. It's going to be a live axle, so it's going to just, this part is really just going to be like right here. It's even going to be lower than that. Honestly, I think we just need bigger tires. We need even bigger tires. Like it's starting to look not big enough. But I'll get to that later. I'm going to work on the rest of this, lights, everything else first, clean it up. We can always enlarge tires. Right, we need bigger tires. So bigger tires and a lift. So now our track is going to be, we don't want to be too close, right? Otherwise we're going to have a tangent. So just want like a bigger tire here, and obviously this one's going to have to get bigger as well. And it will actually move outwards because this is too close. So it'd probably move out to here, right? Because we're in this area now, this open area. That's too wide, but it would be like right about there. We don't want a tangent. As you can see, this might actually line up with this right here. So I want to push it in just ever so slightly. I want the fender to overlap the wheel. I don't want a tangent for the fender and the wheel. I'm going to give the wheel a little bit of camber. So if you don't know what camber is, you can look it up. It's wheel camber. I want a little bit of camber. So I'm actually going to rotate it so that we're actually angled to the outside. Then we can have some gussets on the bumper. This is going to be our center point here, right? So our hood is going to be here. Our center point's actually going to be about here. So these things may have to move a little bit. Our old mirror does not exist anymore. Okay, we're looking kind of getting there. 10 more minutes of this, and then I'm just gonna take a break, and then we will. I'm gonna do some of the paint overs. I'm gonna do the halo gun. So 10 more minutes of this, and then I will do that paint over of the halo gun. Ooh, black. Don't want that. So that's our winch holder. This part's kind of weird. I'm going to go ahead and clean that up. Too many lines there. This fender is actually going to stick out a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of this going on. This is not working, so let's eliminate that. So also keep in mind, guys, this is not exactly transportation design as much as it is just illustration of a car. I'm not a transportation designer, so that would I don't actually do that. But if you look up a lot of illustration on vehicles, it would look like that. This would look like that. This would be illustration of a vehicle. So this, I got this light in the way. I like these. I like these kind of like Cadillac lights. You know how Cadillacs are like kind of designed with rulers now. I was talking with a friend about that earlier, and how like Cadillacs are really just designed with rulers now. That's my center, so this will probably have to eliminate that a little bit. It's not working too well. So it's got that military spec, that feel now. It's getting there. I don't think this should actually even be a that should just be a rocket launcher. Like I I'm convinced now that should just be a rocket launcher. I am not going to make that awning. It's asymmetrical rocket launcher. Now, in the sense, if you were going to model this, that would suck. Because you can't just make half of it and then like duplicate it and then flip it around. Like just make model half. But, you know, whatever's cool. I think these mirrors need to be moved to the left a little bit. These do not look right because obviously perspective-wise, this one would be more extreme, right? So this would actually have to be moved to the left. So it'd probably be around here, and it would go like this. It would actually be it would probably be bigger than what's there as well because it needs to be bigger than this one. This axle is going to be lower, so we have that too. So as you see, when we change things, things are going to change with it. So our axle's going to be right about there. Unless we got portal axles, we can actually move this here if we have portal axles, but I'm not even gonna do that. It doesn't make too much sense. I have to have to explain what the portal axle is. Got 3 gussets. This again, these gussets might be in the wrong place. They don't look like they would be in the right place right now. Um, but rock sliders. Hmm. Those would look right. Just trying to figure out how this would look if I. These are kind of like just if I didn't have that. These kind of look strange with this bar going across. I feel like I'm going to be spending a little bit more time on this. I'm just gonna fix. I'm gonna fix a little bit more here, and then I'm going to take a break. But first, let me get rid of this. I'm gonna fix um, these lights here. They don't look right. So that would be the lights. This will be the fender for the other side. The other side fender. The driver's side fender. right, so we're kind of there here, almost. Like these two sides are kind of matching up. I need a grill of some sort. These grills are really boring. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna do a cooler grill design. These are boring. So I'm gonna follow this line a little bit. We're gonna kind of do this. Then we're gonna do some slide grills. So each piece is gonna be a part of the grill here. Kind of like a Jeep, not really. I'm thinking like maybe we can do something like this. This wouldn't be a bumper, so we wouldn't have that, but um, we would have this cage here just for the winch box. Winch box. Winch box? I think this is not gonna, I need 4 because I had to balance this out. I need a better grill. This grill is not working. All right, guys, I'm going to just stop here for this one. I will come back to it, but after the break, I'm just going to do, well, I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to do the paint over for the gun that I was talking about. So, yeah, let me go do that. Throw these gussets, should not be there. Gussets on one side. I got to figure out this this winch box too. It's not really sitting well. But yeah, so this is it's coming along. Okay, it's coming along. So this is the military spec Humvee redesign. It's like it started off as a Jeep and then it just turned into something else. Anyway, so this is what it is. I think there's a tangent here. We'll fix this later. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll fix some of it. So at least the drawing is done. We'll come back to it this next week for this one, and then after the break, I will be doing the a gun. So I will see you guys soon. I gotta stop the screen. I have to stop it.